Alright, we get your attention on the head table. We're going to be doing the first speech.
Can you hear me? Okay. So, good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you for joining us in the celebration of Ivana and Ron. For a second time for some of you, and hopefully this one's for good. Some of you might remember me from the previous wedding. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Maria. I'm the older sister, the craziest sister, and the maid of honor. So in Macedonia we don't do speeches. I had to Google this. So hopefully it's gonna go good. If not, it's a Macedonian way of doing this. If you can tell by our accents with Ivana, we are not from here. We are from the ocean. We grew up in Macedonia. Macedonia is a small country in Europe. You all should visit once you vaccinate. We had the best child in Macedonia. It was very natural. It was beautiful. I miss it. Fast forward our teenage years. Ivana and I were the closest of friends. We have very different personalities, and took us some time and some very significant events to realize the importance of our relationship. I got married young. I moved to a different town. I became a mother. So the inability to see each other in the distance, to share stories, to gossip, for Ivana to spend some time with her niece made us realize that no other person in this world connected with us on a level that we connected, and no one else cared as deeply as we cared for each other. So since then, we are inseparable. We also have matching tattoos. So, let me tell you shortly what kind of aunt she is. She's the best aunt. She's almost like a mother to my child. I know for sure, with no doubt in my mind, that my child will be taken care of and loved as deeply and with the same dedication as mine. Of course, spoiling her comes at a price, but I'm just waiting for their children so I can spoil them. The relationship they have is so special, it's love so pure, that my mom often says that I will never experience as I have a child of my own. And it's a different feeling when you are childless and you have a niece or a nephew. So once again, I'm just thankful she's in my daughter's life. So enough praising her, she's also clumsy, she's messy, she loves to eat, she's very social. During the quarantine, I thought she was going to lose her mind, so thank God she's still here. They let her go back in the office, so she's fine now. She's also a hugger, she's compassionate, she's caring, loving, she's beautiful, and I'm just glad to call her my sister. Now, Ron. I met him at Dave & Buster's. I told this the previous wedding. She told me, do not scare him off. And I haven't. He's still here. He's persistent. But I haven't because he's shown his love and his commitment to the relationship. So I approve. I also thank you both for taking care of Maggie during the quarantine. So, I just wish you endless, prosperous, and peaceful marriage. Congrats.
Thank you, Maria. Next we have Andy. All three. So Andy, Kevin, and Doug.
Oh boy.
Here we go, guys.
Yeah, here we go.
But they said this one was going to be better.
Oh, I'm ready.
The first one.
Yeah, we're going to need to pass it around. Well, first off, Maria, that was beautiful. I'm telling you right now that nothing you're going to hear from any of us is beautiful or touching. So prepare yourself for that right now. But good evening, everybody. My name is Kevin Madison, one of the three best men, I guess. And welcome again to the Ron and Ivana Wedding, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. The wedding's so nice, they had to do it twice. This past year has not spared anyone. We've all been through it in one way or another. I want to thank Ron and Ivana's families for supporting them and helping them plan a second special day. The three of us love Ivana very much, and, well, we tolerate Ron. This speech will be a little unique, as we have three best men, and we all have things that we want to say. We've all been able to watch Ron grow and, at times, regress throughout his life, so please bear with us as we try to navigate through this. We've seen him undergo an identity crisis, an identity change from the cute little Christopher into the rugged and manly Ron that you see before you today. You've heard tales of Dixie Cup Ron. If there's any aunts, uncles, grandparents around, please make sure you corner him and ask him about that story. We watched him grow into the gridiron legend that became known as Ronnie Football. We've been there with you and for you through the fun times and laughs and heartbreaks and low points, and now today, the day you get to celebrate your love with Ivana. So the three of us are going to take a couple minutes now and just recount a few of the stages of your life that have helped you create, for better or for worse, the man you are today. So I'm going to tag off my buddy Doug.
Alright, so I get stage number 1, and started off, we've all kind of known Ron for a long time, since preschool. We've attended many birthday parties, many different sporting events together, and played sports throughout the whole time. But when we finally finished up our first 4 years of college, Ron was the first one to actually embark on the adventure into the real world and try to find a job. During this journey, he decided to get an apartment in Oswego, and I found myself visiting him every weekend and sleeping on his futon, which I think I gave to him. Was that the one I? Okay, it was. So I got to sleep in my own futon. As poor college kids, Ron and I would wander the streets of Oswego in search of free and or cheap drinks with friends that we knew worked there, or hang out with our parents and letting them buy us drinks all night. I have to give Ron credit because he would always be able to hang with us until closing time, even though he has a lower BLT than us. Ask him about the BLT story. I always wondered what it would be like to have a younger brother, and thanks to Ron, that mystery is solved. It entails taking care of him when we go out drinking, dealing with him, always trying to wrestle me, and do sneak attacks by jumping on my back, randomly.
Not set for 30. We'll see.
Last year. You already forgot.
Maybe tonight.
Maybe tonight.
I don't know.
Other than that, Ron is a kind, loving, and loyal man who will put his heart into everything he does and will be there for you no matter what. He has been searching for someone that truly appreciates him and will show that same amount of affection back. And maybe also take care of him, cook, clean, schedule things. Love. So Ivana, please be sure to reciprocate this back to him. Unless he is being sarcastic, Ron, and not doing the little chores that he does, then please, by all means, put him in his place. He made it through COVID and 2 weddings. If this isn't a good enough test for marriage, then I don't know what is. Congratulations to you both.
So in our mid-20s, Ron and I lived together for a couple of years. We were both young and trying to figure out how to do the whole adulting thing. I just bought a small house, and Ron moved into the baby-size room that I had, and he really made that place his own. I mean, his favorite decorations were the half-drinking glasses of apple juice all over the ground, plates with half-eaten chicken nuggets and barbecue sauce all over them. They say that you shouldn't live with a close friend because it'll most likely change your relationship with them forever. But I can confidently say that Ron, our relationship hasn't changed one bit. I still find you as annoying and insufferable as ever. There is one incident that happened while we lived together that I'll never forget, and I tell this story to everybody, my students, my coworkers. I always tell the story. Ron and I are both peanut butter addicts. I put peanut butter on everything, and I think Ron has eaten a PB&J sandwich every day for his entire adult life. We'd go through a lot of peanut butter in that house. That being said, we'd take turns buying the peanut butter when we would go shopping. I was convinced that it was Ron's turn to buy, and he was convinced it was my turn. Both of us, being as stubborn as we were, refused to buy it. but going without peanut butter in that house was impossible. Secretly, and unbeknownst to one another, we had each bought our own secret stash of peanut butter and had hidden it from one another, just how stubborn we were at that point. Eventually, we both realized what was going on, and both brought down our jars of peanut butter and had community jars of peanut butter once again. I share the story because my advice to you, Ron, is as you embark on this journey, always buy the peanut butter. It doesn't matter who's right. It doesn't matter whose turn it is. It was your turn. You're a team now. You're in it together, for better or for worse, and never forget that.
All right, and I'm Andy, and this is part 3, the last part. So when my brother, Doug, Ron, Derek, were all in 4th grade, I was a senior in high school. But I just knew they were going to become my best friends. They shared my maturity level, I think. So here I am at his wedding. What can I say? Anyway, on Ron's keychain, he has a Minnie Mouse key. The Minnie Mouse key is, in fact, the key to my house. Kimberly and I decided to get a house key made for Ron because he spent most fall Saturdays at our house for many years, leading up to when he met Ivana. I love watching college football, and so does Ron. And he'd come over, I always said that my friends should feel free to come over because I'm going to be watching football on Saturday, so if they feel like coming by, come by. And Ron definitely took that offer very seriously. On those Saturdays past, we could always count on Ron to provide donuts for us. He would text me often to help when uncertainty crept in over what to buy. And to this day, Ron still enjoys coming over and using his key to let himself into our house. He also still enjoys a crippling insecurity over what donuts he should buy. But Ron has made himself at home with us, and my wife and I definitely consider that a compliment. During this time period, we also became familiar with Ron, the board game player. Our group of friends started to slowly play board games, and before long, it became basically a weekly thing. Ron is actually very good at some board games, and when he's good at something, he just quietly goes about excelling and winning. But some others he's not so good at. And when Ron isn't so good at a board game, he's much more adept at telling you what you should do and pointing out your shortcomings than ever really truly trying to think about what he could do himself. The thing is, though, he's actually usually right. He knows what you're going to do and what other people should do to stop you with uncanny accuracy. But the thing is, he's just so grating in the way he does it, nobody listens to him. So he just everyone does their own thing and moves on to their eventual doom. So for Ron, it must be kind of hard seeing the future, but not being able to change it. I have to say, though, that Ron is definitely one of my best friends. And I think the best thing I can say about him is that, and what my stories illustrates, the fact that he invests in the things and the people that he really cares about. Ivana has been a wonderful addition to his life. We all love her, and she's fit right in with us from the start. So I'd like to congratulate Ron. I think this time, for once, seeing the future paid off for you. You knew that Ivana was going to be a part of it. So, just in closing, we love you, Ron. We love you too, Ivana. We look forward to being a part of your lives for many years to come, and hope you have a great day and great life together.
Thank you, Andy, Kevin, and Doug. Let's all raise a glass.
I guess I'm going to do two.
Okay. Cheers.